Xiao learned that thousands of years ago, a battle between two Dodi had taken place near the ancient Bodhisattva tree. What happened here changed the very essence of the tree. The ancient Bodhisattva tree had existed since prehistoric times. Xiao was surprised that despite countless years of existence, it had not grown further and had not developed its own intelligence. Perhaps this was because it had existed for far too long. Whatever the reason, this ancient Bodhi tree was not truly intelligent. It resembled more of a spiritual object, capable of defending itself or responding in return. What Xiao witnessed had happened in extremely distant times. Long ago, a heavily injured god had arrived at the tree, attempting to forcibly remove the spirit of the ancient Bodhisattva tree in order to heal his own wounds. However, he ended up being killed by an opponent who emerged from the ancient Bodhisattva tree, naturally. The god's death inflicted damage upon the tree. The damage was so severe that its size diminished tenfold. And also, great thanks for your support. On the previous video, we reached an almost record-breaking number of likes, more than 3,000. The video spread widely across YouTube. Together, we are strong. Even though the ancient Bodhisattva tree paid a heavy price, it turned out that it had not completely erased the defeated god, because some of the god's negative emotions had gathered together and invaded the ancient Bodhisattva tree. These so-called negative emotions gradually merged with the Bodhi tree over countless years, vaguely influencing its simple spirit, pulling it toward the dark and cold side. In other words, over a long period of time, the ancient Bodhisattva tree was slowly corroded by the negative emotions of the god, and eventually became evil. Because of this evil, the illusion was created. It was unknown how many countless experts had lost themselves within these illusions. If not for the Bodhisattva seed that Xiao carried, which trembled in fear before a familiar aura and awakened the spirit buried deep within the ancient Bodhisattva, Tree Xiao would never have reached this place. If one were to describe the current ancient Bodhisattva tree in simple terms, one could say that it essentially possessed two divided souls. One belonged to itself, while the other was born from the god's negative emotions, a soul formed from the dark god. Xiao guessed why the tree revealed all this and asked, "Do you want to ask me to help you expel this evil spirit?" The tree swayed upon hearing Xiao words as if nodding. But how could Xiao possibly erase the emotions of a true expert at the level of Du? Was that not beyond him? Xiao was actually being truthful. The god's negative emotions had even managed to corrupt something as powerful as the ancient Bodhisattva tree. What could he possibly do with his current strength, having only just reached the 9th star of the Dozan realm? In the end, if he recklessly tried to eradicate those cursed negative emotions, he would only bring harm to himself, would die if he tried. A cluster of light once again appeared before Xiao. Within the light, a spark of flame flickered, and then the Bodhisattva seed materialized. The flame purified the Bodhisattva seed, releasing a fresh aura as the dark chill weakened. The tree's reply was clear: use the Bodhisattva seed to remove the negative emotions, and heavenly flame would be the key. Xiao looked at the Bodhisattva seed in his hand and asked with uncertainty, "Only this unrefined Bodhisattva seed can help you?" In response, the tree revealed 24 seeds. Although the Bodhisattva seed was not as terrifying as the Bodhisattva heart, it could still increase the chances of successfully advancing to the Saint Realm. It was clear that the power of the tree was approaching the level of a god, even though it lacked a complete spirit. Otherwise, the number of experts on the Doki continent capable of contending with it would not exceed 5. Thus, Xiao had to use his heavenly flame to refine and purify the Bodhi seeds. Xiao smiled. All he could do was nod. With a wave of his palm, a cluster of purple-brown flame, tinged faintly with white, appeared before him. He grabbed the Bodhisattva seed with his hand and tossed it into the flame. The Bodhisattva seed contained extremely powerful energy. Even with the heavenly flame, it was very difficult to prepare. The purification lasted for about an hour. Only then did the Bodhisattva seed transform into a crystal-clear liquid. A refreshing breath of energy seeped into the body of the ancient tree. Soon, faint black mist began to leak out. The difficulty of refining the seed of the ancient Bodhisattva tree far exceeded expectations. Even with Xiao current abilities, the Do-Ki in his body was insufficient to continue the process. He needed to rest. But the tree, seeing that Zhao Yan had stopped working, poured its powerful energy into him. Xiao Yan's body trembled. Waves of terrifyingly pure energy surged into his body like a flood. Pure energy continuously flooded into Xiao Yan, causing cracking sounds to echo from his body. Thanks to this insane flow of energy, he felt his depleted Do-Ki reserves rapidly recovering. Moreover, the Do-Ki was slightly denser than before. What a terrifying ancient Bodhisattva tree, thought Zhao Yan as he felt the changes. The energy in this tree was incomparably pure. It required no refinement to be converted into Do-Ki that could be absorbed by a practitioner. In other words, this ancient Bodhisattva tree was an inexhaustible fountain of Do-Ki. In the end, the tree altered Zhao Yan's body. It literally expanded the limit of his Do-Ki. The maximum volume of Do-Ki in his body increased, allowing him to restore it even faster. This was an extraordinarily powerful ability. If this ability continued to grow, it might even erase the so-called barrier or bottleneck between realms altogether. Then, a transition to the Saint Realm could become much easier. For everyone knew how much vast energy was required to prepare for a breakthrough to Saint Dushang Xiao. Yan was shaken by the might of the Do-Ki in his body, but he continued refining the seeds. His palms became a cauldron, and the heavenly flame emitted a frighteningly high temperature. The ancient Bodhisattva tree helped him recover his Do-Ki 28 times. The first batch of Bodhisattva seeds had already been completely purified. But these ancient seeds had not yet fully removed the god's negative emotions from within the tree. Nevertheless, Xiao Yan had also achieved considerable progress while refining such a large number of Bodhisattva seeds. The amount of Do-Ki in his body had already become many times greater than before. The process continued. Zhao Yan did not rest. He kept taking the Bodhisattva seeds, refining them, and channeling them into the tree. In this way, he purified all the seeds. Black mist poured out of the tree like a dark sea. After the black mist dispersed, a green light flared and countless bright green rays burst from the tree's body. They spread outward, causing the already rich vitality to become even denser. Has it been completely purified? The dark chill that Zhao Yan had previously sensed from it had finally disappeared. The current ancient Bodhisattva tree radiated a peaceful, divine, and intelligent mystical aura. One of the tree's ancient branches, resembling a human hand, moved toward Xiao Yan's head. Good, so the negative emotions have been completely eliminated. Although the ancient Bodhisattva tree had helped him replenish his Do-Ki, the fatigue of his soul could not be restored so easily. Now that Xiao Yan could finally relax, exhaustion instantly surged from his soul. Xiao Yan eventually fell asleep. As Zhao Yan lowered his head and drifted into slumber, the light turned into countless hands that reached for his seated figure. The moment they enveloped him, powerful fluctuations pulsed from the tree as Zhao Yan slowly merged with it. He turned into a statue, sitting motionless in the center of the tree. Soon as Zhao Yan was absorbed into the ancient Bodhisattva tree, numerous figures were expelled outside. Strangely, all of them turned out to be the people who had entered the tree along with Zhao Yan. Among them was also Yuzaner's group. Their expressions changed drastically when they suddenly appeared in this strange place. Some still bore fear upon their faces. Now they understood that everything they had experienced earlier had been nothing but an illusion. What a terrifying ancient Bodhisattva tree. Even such strong experts as Zhu, Zunyo, and Hyun, you could not remain calm. As they recalled the illusion they had endured, they broke out in cold sweat. Not for this sudden change, they would have remained trapped in their illusions forever. Thus, Zhao Yan not only helped the ancient Bodhisattva tree, but also saved his companions from the illusion, as well as his enemies. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments how you feel about Zhao Yan helping the tree. Subscribe to the channel, give a like, and goodbye to all.